It's a cruel, cruel, cruel summer, leaving me here on my own. Hello, and welcome back to the next exciting episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, fully quarantined edition, back to our separate houses. The podcast where Matt and Todd watch a movie on the Netflix Top 100 list, and then we talk about it, share our feelings, our thoughts, our hopes, and our prayers. And hopefully you listen and you like it, and maybe you share them too. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy. And yes, another exciting quarantine episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. So we'll get to the movie in a second, but first, a word from our sponsor. That sponsor is the Santa Fe Writers Project, or SFWP for short. And today I want to tell you about one of the books published by SFWP called We All Scream. This book is actually written by the founder and director of SFWP, Andrew Gifford. It's a memoir that details the rise and fall of the Giffords Ice Cream Company and the family behind it. Some of you from the D.C. area may remember Giffords. I have read it, and it will really keep turning page after page to find out what happens next. I highly recommend that you check it out. SFWP is offering 25% off to all of our listeners when you order direct through the website sfwp.com. Just use the coupon code MOVIES when you check out. This applies to We All Scream or any of their other great titles. Thank you, Santa Fe Writers Project, for helping make magic happen. Thank you, Santa Fe Writers Project, for helping make the magic. Got to get that right. Here at Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. Everyone, go support a small business and buy some books.
Yeah.
So,
buy some books.
So,
I haven't read that book, but I encourage everyone to go read it.
Yeah. Well, you can borrow it, Todd, or you can get 25% off and buy your own copy.
Ooh.
And for an additional $0.00, Todd, I will get it signed for you by the author.
Oh, you might have just sealed the deal on that one.
Plus, that way, our sponsor would get at least one sale from our podcast. So, well, we're happy to have a sponsor for as long as it lasts. Thank you, SFWP. And we're going to talk about a movie now. The movie we watched is called Blue Valentine, starring Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams. Michelle Williams, of course, of Dawson's Creek fame. That's where she had a breakout performance.
Right up your alley, I see then.
Yes.
I only know her because she used to be with Heath Ledger. They have a kid together, I think.
Oh, nice. Well, we have some Dawson's Creek fans who listen to our podcast regularly, Todd.
Well, they'll be really happy about this.
Yes. So, I'm interested in your intro theme as it connects to this movie. Is there a connection?
I can create the connection. I don't know if, it takes some creativity to do it. There's two main reasons why I did that song. One, it's been so hot out, it is just a cruel summer to me. I know the song is not about heat in the summer, but it's really hot out, and it plays a lot where I work, so I've been listening to it a lot. That's one reason. Two, the way I connected the dots, and I can guarantee no one follows me, my logic on this one, is Cruel Summer was the song in The Karate Kid, but it was also a remix of that song was in Blue Crush, and Blue Valentine is what we watched today.
There you go. It's the Karate Kid, Blue Crush, Blue Valentine connection.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Well, so, yeah, we watched this movie. It's called Blue Valentine. And it is the story told out of order of a married couple having some problems. Basically, their marriage is going down the tubes, and they both have memories and remember better times when they were falling in love and before they got married, when they got married. uh,
Hmm.
trying to. I don't know. I don't know if they were trying to recapture their lost love, but um, anyway. So you get the story of them struggling, intermixed with the story of them having a blossoming love.
Sure.
And that's pretty much what it's about. Um,
Yeah. Can't go more in depth of that without giving stuff away. We don't do that here.
we don't do that. So, Todd, what did you think of this?
So when this movie came up in your message to me as our next movie, at first I was really excited because I've always wanted to watch this movie. It just never, I didn't know it was on Netflix, and it's like one of those movies that came and gone, and then got all these good reviews, and then I see it pop up every once in a while in like a weird YouTube top 10 list or something, and so I was like, I want to watch that one day. So then I was excited about it, but then I kind of remember what it was about, and then I got not excited about it because I knew it was a sadder movie. And for me personally, my struggles in my life right now connect so hard to what was shown in this movie
Mm,
that I was like, this is gonna be very similar to the marriage story.
right.
Um, but outside of it being to me, it's a very sad movie. Um, I did like it. I've got a huge man crush on Ryan Gosling, and I'm not afraid to say it. So,
Who doesn't,
uh,
Todd?
yeah. Um, Now I think this movie, as far as his acting go, he didn't. I don't really feel like he tried the hardest. It kind of felt like at times he was just skating by. There was some like kind of more intense scenes that it felt like he was giving it his all. But then there were times where, and I think it was just, I don't know, the character he played. He kind of played this character who's like super laid back, and people have a hard time, I guess, discerning whether or not he cares about stuff. Like period, I think in life, because he just kind of skates by. He doesn't go the extra mile in almost anything. He's got a horrible job because he kind of chooses to have a horrible job because he can drink during the day during it, and like he thinks that's fine, and like um so Michelle Williams, I think, does pretty good. There were times where she had to like really bring it, and I was kind of like, I don't know if you really got there, but it was fine. I wouldn't give her like a stellar praise for this movie. I don't know if I'd give anyone in this movie a stellar praise.
Mm,
It is very like a realistic look at marriage, I think, and the struggles that can happen and stuff like that. And honestly, I think where you're at in life will depend where you land on this movie as far as like who you support, who you don't support. Um, like it was hard for me to watch this movie and just because of my own situation a lot in life and look at this movie and go, oh man, that woman, look how she's like ruining everything and stuff, which I kind of realize is a skewed vision, I think. But um, there's really, I mean, there's a kid in this movie. She does pretty well. There's some like really, really side characters in this movie who are not in a lot. I mean, this movie is basically all these different scenes with just Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams, and it's like through time when they first meet, when they're dating, where they are now, all this kind of stuff. So, luckily, it's not too hard to follow where they are at in time because Ryan Gosling has a massive receding hairline in the movie, so it's like where you are in the movie based off of just his hair. Um, so I mean, I don't know. Hard movie for me to watch, but I think it was good. I don't think it was fantastic or like the best movie ever, but certainly has some enjoyable parts in it and some also incredibly weird parts that are just like really hard to follow what's happening. Like there's just a really confusing scene with Gosling and Michelle Williams, and like they're, I don't know, about to kind of have sex, and I don't know. The scene plays so weird to me. I can't tell if she wants it to be rough, and he's like, "I'm not gonna hit you. Do you want me to hit you? I'm not gonna hit you." It's just like it's this totally awkward scene. It didn't play out very well in my mind. Like I was like, I really could have done without that because it just was weird. So warning for that scene for anyone else who watches this movie. And that's where I'll leave off because I've been rambling. Matt, what did you think?
Well, uh, I didn't like the back and forth time stuff. Yes, we had Ryan Gosling's hairline to guide us as to where we were in the story. I still found it confusing even with that. Um,
Sure. I feel like that's a common theme for a lot of movies that we've watched recently of like maybe you just like you like a linear story that's about like not a ton of people because you like to be focused in on something whereas like a lot of these movies that we keep seeing or keep coming up on the list are like about 50 people or something like that keep spicing or are like weird time gaps and we're thrown all over the place.
right. Yeah. But that criticism aside, uh, I thought the movie was well acted. Um, it was a depressing movie.
Very much
Uh,
so.
I don't like. I don't know who would watch this movie and say, "Oh, wow, that was nice." Uh, at the end of it, there's just it's not really a solid, uplifting message overall. But um, and and there are quite a few. You described one, but that's not the only awkward sex scene that is in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, there's a few, and they're
Yes.
not necessarily short. Um,
Right.
they're there on purpose, but um, I don't know. I felt like there were some weird choices that they made, and
Yes.
maybe they were just trying to say, "Hey, weird stuff can happen," and uh, that's what made these characters who they are, or that's part of it, and
Yes.
that's it. So, but if you are not, um, you're not ready for weird sex scenes in your movies, maybe skip this one.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about the other one until you started talking, and I just there's no. There, I mean, I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of sex scenes, period. But there's definitely not a point. There's several points in this movie where I'm like, I could definitely do without what I'm seeing right now. Like, just like in general, and it's not even. It's like kind of earlier in the movie or whatever. There's like a scene where Michelle Williams is having sex with another man or whatever in her previous relationship, and he finishes inside her, and then we have to follow her to the bathroom as she tries to clean up or whatever, or like avoid a pregnancy or what have you. And it's like I don't need to see any of that. Like you could have written a line of dialogue that just said I'll be back, I'm going to the bathroom or something like that, and I kind of probably picked up on what she was doing. I didn't need to go into the bathroom with her.
Mm.
Like definitely a huge strike against the movie.
Well, Todd, I liked the fact that they went into the bathroom. I thought it
Oh,
made it a very human moment. She was sort
oh.
of trying to avoid pregnancy in a way that doesn't really work as a younger
Uh,
girl.
yeah.
But anyway, so overall, I didn't really like the movie. I thought though it was well acted, the story was a major downer,
Yeah.
and I didn't like the non-linear part of it. One day we are going to see a movie that's going to be non-linear, and I'm gonna love it.
Right. Yeah.
But that wasn't today, so
True. Very true.
that's where I end up as a nah.
Yeah. Also thinking about the movie that we watched versus the two movies we could have saw at the drive-through if we got tickets was kind of like, oh, the two movies that we could have seen at the drive-in, but we just didn't get tickets for were Jaws and Jurassic Park,
Yeah, yeah. I
which
think
would have
those.
been much more of a fun time.
Yeah, agree with that. Yeah, we tried to go to the drive-in again, and the day we could go and make it work, they were sold out. So unfortunate. But that's how it goes.
So, Matt, how many how many Budweisers would you give this movie? Because I believe that's Ryan Gosling's drink of choice, unless he's drinking like a hard liquor or something.
Hmm. Well, on a scale of 0 to 5 Budweisers,
True.
um, 5 being the best, uh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2.3 Budweiser.
Was that you opening a Budweiser? Was the sound effect, or was that just you
That was me
making a
thinking,
noise?
but
Oh, okay.
maybe later I'll open a Budweiser.
2.3 Budweisers.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep with my gut reaction, which was there was some fine moments in this movie, and there were some well acted moments in this movie, but overall, it was a hard movie for me to watch because of my personal life, and just in general, it's just such a depressing movie that I'm going to stick with 2. I'm going to go with just 2.0.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's where I'm at.
got it. So I've already calculated what the next movie we'll watch. Should we share that with listeners?
I say yes to get people excited.
Yeah. Okay. Well, random number generator came up with a 14. So
Okay.
we end up in the C's
Okay.
and we end up with Chasing Amy.
Oh, dearie.
Kevin
Been a while
Smith.
since I. Have
Yeah,
you seen this movie?
I've seen it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It is a certain friend of ours. Like, I think his legit favorite movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, I remember watching this movie maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and had definitely a different opinion about it as an adult from when I watched it when it came out as like a younger person. I can't. This is a '90s movie, I'm pretty sure. So I must not have been that old when this movie came out.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's something to
I
look
hope
forward
everyone's
to.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah, for us to talk about.
I'm excited. I've been a
Good
long
old
time since I've seen it, and I
Ben Affleck and Jason Lee and other people.
yes, other people.
So
So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, where we reviewed the movie Blue Valentine, and I think we gave it an average of uh, 2.15 out of
mm,
5 Budweisers.
nice.
Not something we recommend you watch. You're really trying
Yeah.
to have a depressing night with weird sex scenes. Hey, this
Yeah.
might be the movie for you. Otherwise, probably
True.
so.
Yeah. Da 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 da
Da da
da da
da
da.
da da.